Hi guys, this is Merv, Bonsai with Merv, back with you again. Back in October, we took this Malpighiae punicifolia, or dwarf Japanese, I think earlier I said that's from China, but it's Japan, dwarf Japanese cherry tree, and we wired it, shaped it, enjoyed it, and at this point in time what I would like to do is show you stage 2, what I do with this now to make it look more like a bonsai. Bonsai is very time lengthened. You cannot just force it. It's got to develop on its own pace. You can speed it up with enough fertilizers, but don't over-fertilize. When you over-fertilize, you're blowing leaves out, you could possibly kill the plant. Just be careful and learn what the plant will take from you. How much stress can you get out of it before it dies? And believe me, I've killed my fair share of plants. But now, stage 2, Malpighiae. Okay? And what I should have done, or whilst I was talking to you, but we can do it, you can watch me as I remove the wire. This wire was not put on tightly, so because of that, we were safe enough leaving it on for the last 6 months, where there are times when a plant will just stretch out too fast and it will scar the plant badly because it grows into the wire. So you need to be aware of the wiring processes and the length of time that you do keep your wire on your plant. Okay, there's one section. Looks like it's a little bit heavy, huh? But we shall solve that problem when we plant the plant. When we put it in the ground, in a bonsai pot, because that's what I'd like to do today, to show how to work it into a pot and create that flowering bonsai. You know, I'm constantly asked about plants. So my wife keeps on getting at me that we got to make more flowering bonsai, and she's 100% correct. It is eye appealing and it looks gorgeous when it's out there in your garden on display. Now for you to enjoy. Okay, there we are. Those are the branches. Now one more up this trunk. See, because it's aluminum wire, I don't have to cut every little piece. If this was copper, it would have annealed to the point where it would have been so tough that the only way to remove it is to be cutting every little loop. That's why the aluminum wire is so forgiving. Okay. There we are. Oh my gosh. Looks like it's drooped a little bit because it's too heavy. Not strong enough plants yet, but we will solve that problem. Right, what I've done is we've taken a round, I believe that's an 8-inch round bonsai pot, and what I do want to do is just correct one situation here. Because of the fact that I see them as loose as they are and drooping, what I do want to do is add wire to the bottom of the pot, and you'll find out very soon as to why I'm doing this. And this is before I add the soil and the plant. I do have wire that will tie the plant in place. Now, this wire is going to be available to help hold our style in place. Okay. We add a little bit of soil to the bottom of the pot. Always add some soil, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Then, what I'm going to do is take this plant, just tip it, pull it out carefully. There's our root structure. Alright, always start from the top of your soil ball, okay, and clean it down so that you can see what the top roots are doing. And by doing this, you're really not disrupting the bottom roots, which is really the more aggressive feeder roots. Okay, look at what we have. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so beautiful. Okay, I'm in the front. Okay, and what I always want to stress is when you take a look at this soil, you will see the broken root pieces that came off when I was disrupting the soil on the top. Well, don't throw that away. Those are very important. This section of soil is so important. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of it on the base first, and then I want to move it off because it's going back into the pot around the plant. These small roots that I've broken off unintentionally, yeah, it wasn't intentional, they are a good part of the creators of the manufacturing part of the plant, the mycorrhiza, the beneficial fungus that helps the roots develop a lot faster, more efficiently, and a lot healthier. Yeah. Now we were talking about these extra wires. See, I've positioned the plant, but the plant isn't the way it should be in this pot. So these extra wires that I brought in, I'm going to pull this one branch, this trunk across. This is my first trunk. And wrap the wire around it. This wire is to hold this plant in place. And the second one, the next wire, bring it across and wrap it around the trunk. Like that. Just to hold this baby in place. Okay, so this way I can position our bonsai. That's what we had. Alrighty. So I can see what I'm doing. Right, now I need the soil in the pot. Make sure that you leave no air pockets when you feed that soil in. Don't just dump it in, feed it in slowly. Move it into the pot properly, and make sure, like I said, you do not want to leave any air pockets. Air pockets are not very healthy for your roots. Okay. That's the mycorrhiza soil. Now I can add a little bit more soil to the top of the plant. Make sure not too radical. Now, one thing I don't think I mentioned, and it's just crossing my mind that I should talk about this also, is that when you repot a plant or transfer it from a regular pot into a bonsai pot, excuse me, you're adding soil, that's not moist, and you've shocked the root system. So a very good thing to do, and I sincerely hope Super Thrive doesn't mind me doing this, is this product called Super Thrive. I love the product. And what I will do is I'll take a tray that's a little bit higher than this pot. I'll add water, but I'll add water to it so that it does not overflow the pot, that it just comes maybe 2/3 of the way up the pot. Okay? If it goes over the pot, all the soil's going to be floating. It'll make one incredible mess. Then you take Super Thrive, and in the water, you want to drop anywhere from 4 to 10 drops. That's all it needs. It will feed the root system, and it will help moisten the plant a little bit faster and more thoroughly. So try to see if you can find Super Thrive and work with it. And as you can see, now this one particular branch I've noticed isn't really where it should be. See how it's blocking off the flow of the plant itself? So what I'm going to do is I just want to take this wire, attach it to the trunk, and then run it up the branch carefully, making sure you hang on to the wire with the branch so as not to stress the branch. You might break it. Here we are. Okay, now, this is Malpighia. Malpighia punicifolia is a pretty decently fast grower. As you will see that this baby was cut back so radically at one time, and what's happening, if I remove some of these large leaves, let me show you what's happening here. Oops. If you can look, see, there are smaller leaves developing, little new branches, a whole bunch of new branches, and that's all over this plant. It's doing that. Look at the top. It's just developing beautifully. And what I try to do is develop these branches faster than it will grow on its own accord. Let me show you something here. You see, hopefully you can see these 3 branches that are really extended. What I'm going to do is leave 2 leaves and cut that branch off. Now I want to make this a little bit longer. I'll take 4 leaves and cut it off. Here I'll keep this short, and at the first 2 leaves cut it off. Now what's going to happen is that these leaves on the Malpighia grow in pairs, one on each side. And because I trim them off so close to the main trunk, they will throw 2 new shoots. Each one of them will throw 2 new shoots. When those shoots develop, 4 leaves, not 6, but 4, 2 pair, cut the second pair off. Just tip it off and just keep on doing that as you're fertilizing, and before you know it, you're going to have a really nice branch that is so full and just designed properly, closer branched out too. Okay? And there it is, stage 2, guys. We will go on to stage 3. I would give this plant at least another, I'd say 6 to 8 weeks. And in 6 to 8 weeks, what I'm going to do then, because I'm going to be fertilizing, and I'm going to be pushing this plant to flower for us. And I believe, my sensei always said that if I hit this baby now with a 30-10-10, which is mirror acid, you'll see on the container it say mirror acid, 30-10-10. This is an acid-loving plant. Now, because of the fact it's just being potted, You do not want to fertilize for the first 2 weeks. You want those roots to stabilize first without shock in it. Okay? In 2 weeks, you feed this plant with 30-10-10. And within 21 to 25 days, you're going to see flowers appearing on this baby. Okay? So that means in another 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks, we're going to be talking about this plant again. We'll definitely show you what it is. It's Malpighia punicifolia. And if you can find it, go for it. Okay? And enjoy it. It's a beautiful plant to work with. Once again, I want to thank you for being with me, Bonsai with Merv. Check our Facebook page. Oh, these gnats are here. Summer's coming, guys. Check our Facebook page. Look for us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Anything relative to bonsai, that is. And please tell us if you like it when you watch us on YouTube. Do take care. God bless you. Thank you. Bye.